Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. If you just have to have a boat before the end of boating season, Madisonville Marine's the place to turn. And if you've decided, doggone it, next year I will have a boat for 2024 boating season, Madisonville Marine is the place to turn. Selection, prices, great customer service. There's no better place to buy a boat than down at Highway 411 North in Madisonville, Madisonville Marine. All right, let's talk about how the penalties will impact the job Josh Heupel has to do. Josh, the negative recruiting will now stop. And you saw in that quote there, he had to put up with some negative recruiting as we were going to break there. That's going to stop, so you would think that would make recruiting easier. At the same time, he's losing those visits that Jeremy Pruitt was fighting to get. He's losing some evaluation days, so maybe that would make recruiting harder. Is his job going to get easier now that it's in the past, or is it going to get harder because now he's got the more sanctions he knows about?
Well, it does get easier. I will push back on the negative recruiting stops. I think it'll be twisted. First of all, negative recruiting never stops.
Right, yeah.
You choose whichever path is your best
bet in terms of.
Yeah. But the idea, hey, you're not going to go to the postseason, they can't say that anymore.
Right.
And Josh Heupel has success on the field, and the recruits that they brought in to also say, hey, these guys have already bought in, you can join them. As I've learned from Chuck, there's the unknown aspect that we just can't answer right now, and that is we don't know which prospects will see these headlines, and they'll actually look at it. They'll vote in that, where are we, 6%? Or no, it's an unjust travesty, 18%.
Yeah, 18%
so
unjust travesty.
A recruit can read that headline and say, whoa. Or an opposing coach can say, hey, they've got this 5-year probation period. You don't know what's going to happen. What if they get in trouble again? And it puts seeds of doubt into their head, and then maybe they don't take a visit, and they don't come when they would have previously. All that being said, it's easier now for Josh Heupel to recruit, and I think he'll be just fine because they've succeeded on the field. They have a good recruiting staff, in my opinion, and I think they'll be just fine. So they're still going to have to battle negative recruiting, but it's easier, much easier, I think, now than it was 2 years ago.
Well, they had a really good recruiting class that just came in, right?
Right.
And then 2024 is in the top 10, right?
Not anymore.
Oh, it's
I was
not?
about to we talked to
close?
we talked to Ryan Callahan last week about them being number 11.
Okay.
This week they got jumped by 4 more schools. They're number 15 right now.
Yeah, we lost some guys.
But it's still a good-looking class.
Sucks.
It's still a good-looking class, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that the impact is. I think it'll be very minimal because they've already recruited well, in spite of it.
And part of that, I also go back to Heupel's first year. Now, look what he did with so much less. When they, like Marlon pointed out, when it was like 30-something players, and he's down to what, Jimmy? Was it 63 scholarship players or something?
That
That's his number.
That was his number. Well, but I'll use it too. So it was a low number.
Well, here, I mean,
It wasn't as low as they said.
yeah, the interesting thing about that, one, you've got a coach who's got a system that I think enables you to win in spite of being outmanned at times. Also, I don't know how much these scholarship reductions mean as much when we're talking 2 a year, basically, is what we're looking at. How much is that really going to impact you in the day of NIL and the transfer portal? Because it's not like, gosh, we've lost all these guys and we're going to have to bring in all these freshmen. No, you could sit there and say, we're 2 scholarships down, but we really need a veteran in this particular hole. Get me Spire Sports on the line and call this kid and offer him X million. Although now with the fine, will they have the million? Let me ask you this, Marlon. We don't seem to think this is a big deal for Josh Heupel. The next question is, would it make it easier for somebody else to come in and get him? Let's say he has some reason at the end of this year. Let's say they have a good year, but it's not a great year, and fans immediately flip the way they did on Butch Jones and said, 9 ain't good enough. And he's like, wait a second, where's the appreciation? And Oklahoma, mama, calls and says, we want you. Is this enough that it would weigh into it or no?
No, I don't think it's enough. First of all, like there's some bad blood there at Oklahoma for what I've read up on.
Let's pick some other school. Just give an example.
I would say no. I think what happens is, heck, he gets a day off now. With some of these visits being reduced, he gets a day off. He don't have to recruit his own staff as much and all the rest of this sort of deal. No, I think you got everything you need here at Tennessee. He's establishing that ground rule. He's kind of made a name for himself here. So I think he's good to go. I don't think it's enough.
No,
I think if somebody comes in and offers him more money, then Tennessee doesn't have that $8 million.
There you go.
Then you always take the money.
I just think if they'd come back and really hammered you, then I think that question could have
been.
I don't think they did. I don't think they hit you enough to where it would influence him one way or the other in terms of.
Well, I think his quotes kind of broke it down. Like,
Yeah.
all right, now we can go play for championships. We've got that behind us. That tells me I think we're good to go.
All right. When we come back, who are the winners and losers in this case? Donde Plowman, Jeremy Pruitt, Philip Fulmer. We'll discuss all of them next. Come on back on the Sports Source.